But it does appear to me that there's a difference between the gift of miracles and the fact of miracles.
How do we know we've received the gifts of the Holy Spirit?
Okay, well, one thing we have to look at, when you're looking at the book of Acts, most of the book of Acts is a description of what happened. It's not all a prescription for us. So when Jesus is talking to the apostles in the book of Acts chapter 1, he is saying, you need to go out and you need to be my witnesses to Judea, Samaria, and to the ends of the earth. So he is equipping them to go out. Now, Christians will differ over this. Some will say, well, he's also equipping us with these same gifts. Other Christians will say, no, those gifts passed away with the apostles. Okay, you can argue over that all day. It does appear to me that on some instance, in some situations, these gifts still do apply. If you go to Craig Keener's book that I mentioned earlier, the hernia-inducing 2-volume set on miracles, he has some documented situations where people were able to speak in tongues, not a private prayer language tongue, but actually another known language that the other person needed to hear in order to have the gospel, right? So, but it did appear that in New Testament times, Paul and the other apostles had the ability to heal people. Now it seems, well, actually a little bit later in their ministry, they appeared not to have the ability to heal. Paul couldn't heal his own thorn in the flesh. He told Timothy, take a little wine with your stomach or for your stomach. Well, why not just heal him, Paul? You know, or pray for so-and-so, he's sick. Paul, if you can heal him, why don't you just heal him? The reason it seems that Paul and the apostles had the gift of miracles for a while, or gift of healing, was because they were the ones who were writing the New Testament, and people needed to know they were truly speaking for God, and through those miracles they were validated, okay? It doesn't appear to me that there are people today who have the same gift at any time on command to heal people. If that were the case, they'd be going to hospitals and emptying them, right? Okay. Now, again, I'm not saying this might not happen on occasion in certain areas of the world when necessary, but it does appear to me that there's a difference between the gift of miracles and the fact of miracles. Okay. People might not have the gift today, but God can do a miracle at any time, whenever he wants, for any reason. And that does happen today. Okay, so how do we know we have the witness of the Holy Spirit? Or how do we know we have the gifts of the Holy Spirit? Well, it depends on what gifts you're talking about. What gifts do you mean?
I was talking more in the sense of like speaking in tongues, also that healing you're talking about.
Okay.
So
that is something that Christians are going to differ over, and I don't take a firm position either way.
My second part of the question is, so do you believe everyone has their own personal prayer language that they can speak directly to God with? And also, how do you know you're not just speaking gibberish when you're speaking?
Well, personally, I don't have that prayer language. Now, that doesn't mean other people might not have it, but personally, I don't have it. Okay, and maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm not that kind of person, and maybe other people have that. I don't know. I don't speak in tongues, so to speak. I don't have a private prayer language, but I'm not closed off to maybe other people having that. But you just need to research it more.